whoever won that match got custody of Dominic.
This is a soap opera.
I'm going to get that kendo stick real quick. I'm going to shove it where the sun don't shine.
You could take out a cat.
I'd be fighting for my life, but it'd be for Jesus Christ. Vince ruined it.
Ruined? Say it again?
Ruined it. Basically, basic thugonomics.
I just want to say how sorry I am for how I've been treating you. She's like, what?
I got you 3 things of kiwis.
If you ever... Shut up. You ready? Let's get it. Absolutely not. Oh boy.
All right, we ready?
That's
all right,
funny.
folks. Welcome back to another episode of That's How You Feel. I mean, you know what? If you smell what That's How You Feel is cooking.
I already have regrets.
You know what I've been wanting to do since day one?
What?
I want you to insert, like, hey, I'm going to be Caleb. I want you to insert Vince McMahon doing this. You're terrible. Fired. I'm just kidding. I don't.
We're already off the rails.
Yeah.
So sad.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shout out to LA Knight. Can you guys guess what the topic of this episode is today?
Take a wild guess what the topic is. Jeez.
Oh, right now you should put in Stone Cold's music.
Let's just real quick. Let me make sure we're both wearing the same shirt.
So you are a wrestling fan.
I'm not. Before we do anything further, I am not a fan. It is entertaining. I am not a fan.
But you do enjoy it.
It is entertaining.
That he enjoys it. So
it's entertaining.
As always, thanks for watching, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. We would love to yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sure. We would like to. What? You're. Oh, God. So this is just kind of funny. For those that don't know, we film a couple episodes in a night, and I can tell that he's a little tired. You're getting kind of crazy, but it's okay though.
It's just the whiskey in my cup.
All right.
I'm just kidding. I don't drink whiskey.
Yeah. So, question of the day already?
Bruh, comments.
That's right. Comments. So
you are fired.
I am fired.
You're fired. You can just see his saliva spitting out everywhere on the person's face. Hey, real quick, can we turn on Raw? I'm missing Monday Night Raw right now.
Young man, let's just get through this.
Hell in a Cells this weekend. You want to come over and watch the pay-per-view?
So comments from so we had this comment comes from Uncle Big Black. We were talking about
I'm sorry, that is a great
name
handle. Uncle
Big Black. We were talking about wings, pizza, pasta, or tacos. One gotta go. 4 people in a room. I just squeaked or squeaked. Is that the word? Squeaked?
Your voice cracked. Puberty.
Puberty.
Finally.
4 people in a room having 4 different opinions is a statistical improbability. I said anomaly.
Which is true. I thought about that when that clip aired. We literally all had different answers.
I thought that was great. I like that happened. That was great. Just not really a comment, but I guess this is a review.
This was a review on
this
Facebook.
Is like one of our first Facebook reviews, I think.
It's our second, but I will say this is actually. Well, go ahead and read it, and then I'll tell you who it's from.
Hannah Ann says, "Love this podcast. Caleb and Levi are great hosts, and the topics are always interesting." Thank you, Hannah.
Thank you, Hannah. That comes from one of the hosts from Taking Back Sunday podcast. She actually has her own, and they're starting a spooky series right now where they're filming in a barn, which is really cool.
How many people are on that podcast?
There's 2. There's Bianca and Hannah. They're hosts, and they talk everything: true crime, hot takes, all kinds of stuff.
Let's get them on the podcast and do bad opinions with them.
Ooh, I've talked to them about it. They want to come on. Okay. Bianca's actually a huge fan. She can't wait to meet you. The first thing when I met her last week at the Craig Morgan concert, she said, "I heard something about the Kiwis being on sale." They actually, in their second episode of the Spooky, just a shout out, they shouted out our podcast and talked about it.
Thank you for the shout out. Next comment comes from Tuba Joe. we were talking about James. James had a really great idea, or not a great idea. James was talking about how his opinion of where the stadium should be in KC. And Tuba Joe says he lives in KC, wears a Cardinals shirt. That's all I need to know about his opinion.
There were a couple like that, which I was just like, that's such a dumb take because
no, it's not. You're not one of us. Shut up.
Nah. You know James.
Yeah, I know James.
He knows way more about sports than any of us.
Still. Listen
to his podcast, the W Sports Podcast, and you would know.
Mm-hmm. Last comment comes from Dennis Shanae. Dennis is a friend of mine. Dennis, I'm sorry. I don't know how to pronounce your name. He doesn't watch podcasts. But Dennis says, Jesus effing Christ.
That's great after the last episode.
JFC, some people will turn anything into a controversy. I agree with you.
Was this about Kiwis?
It's about Kiwis. Yeah.
Give me my phone back.
JFC, people will turn anything into a controversy. You're so right.
It's true.
Should have never happened.
I'm glad it did.
I should have never been rude to my spouse.
That's right. Amen. Take your own advice.
Bro, can I just also say, now, when I go to Costco, I don't even look at them Kiwis anymore.
You probably don't even.
Every time I see them, I'm just like,
you we beefing.
We got beef. I got beef with Kiwis.
I get you.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah. Anyway.
Yeah, I think you're tired.
A little bit.
So, question of the day.
No.
If you were in a 15 by 15 room, what's the largest animal you think you could take on barehanded?
Ooh, I know I could take a pig out.
Also, I hate that this is a question because animal cruelty, but I know it's just a hypothetical question.
I could definitely take out a pig. A cat. I'm
fry you up some bacon.
It's not about bacon, but I could take out a cat. I could take out a dog too, but like a smaller, like a Yorkie, or like a Dachshund. I could take out one of those. I imagine the animal is they are actively trying to get you. They're not just
something coming at you.
It's not some docile
a rabbit
kitten. Yeah. This animal means business.
You got to save your life.
Yeah, it's either me or the animal. I could take out a decent sized cat or an average sized dog. But any other animal, I don't think I could take out any other animal. Like a pig for sure though. I'm choking a pig out.
What about chicken? Chicken would be
I'd
easy.
have to catch the chicken, but
it's gonna be backing at you.
But
You've seen chicken run.
What animal could you take out? The biggest animal you think you could take out?
Definitely a lion. I'm kidding. I would be terrified.
What about like a small bear?
If I got in a chokehold, maybe.
You'd have to get.
No, but then it has its claws. It'd be clawing at my arm. Nope. Is a butterfly an animal?
It's an insect.
I'm just kidding. I'm with you. I don't know. I wouldn't. A cat? Oh no, cats. Oh,
cats. You're gonna get marked up. You're getting scratched up.
Cats are the devil, straight up from hell.
So a cat though, you could take out a cat.
I'd be fighting for my life, but it'd be for Jesus Christ.
I was thinking about zoo animals, animals like not even a chimp. I couldn't take out a chimp.
Monkeys, yeah, no. Monkeys are quick and they their teeth.
I could take out a penguin. Give me the biggest penguin you can find.
No.
Julia, real quick, find out what's the largest penguin ever recorded.
No,
bet money I could take it out. They can't even hit you.
What about a seal?
Oh, I can't take. I wouldn't try to do a seal.
They're heavy.
Yeah, I'm not choking out a seal. But I could choke out a penguin. I'm pretty sure. I don't care how big a penguin can get. I think I can take a penguin because they're
literally this. I am tired because now I said chicken earlier, so all I'm here is choke your chicken.
Pitiful. Let's just go on to the next question. Would you participate in a slap contest?
Oh, those videos. You're talking about the ones where
you stand there and you just got to get hit with a whole house
and hope you survive so you can hit them back.
I would participate halfway. Let me get the first hit.
I'm out. I resign. Yeah, no, I would not. I've seen some of that. Oh man, that would hurt. And then you got to stand there like it didn't hurt. You mean to tell me that they hit you with all your force and you just with your mouthpiece That didn't hurt. Don't lie. You lie. The devil is a liar. God, and who thought of this competition? Like, who was like, you know what would be really cool sport challenge? Is if we had like a table, you had to slap one person. If they didn't get knocked out, you get to slap them back.
That sounds like some stuff some white folks came up with.
It's trifling.
2 dudes named like Chad and Derek. They came up with that.
Wasn't me.
I also wouldn't do it. Like one half. Like, well, let me hit you, and then I'm like, all right, I quit. I resign. Now you win. You got it. You got it.
I imagine they like. I bet like they can't.
You have to sign a waiver that says you're gonna get hit.
Yeah. Have you seen the ones where like it looks like their head spins around?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
But I've just seen people get hit and like they just like they stand and then just like it's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Today's topic is wrestling. Now, first of all, let me just say to our viewers, I'm sorry, but Levi is a fan of wrestling, so we're gonna talk about wrestling. You
came up with this topic though, because I was because
we're friends, and I want to talk about things that you are passionate about.
I didn't want to do this episode because I love wrestling, but I didn't think it'd be that interesting to people. But there's a huge fan base out there, so
hopefully the wrestling fans will tune in. Yeah, we did Harry Potter. We can do wrestling.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Maybe we'll do one on
how long have you been a fan of wrestling though?
So I know for sure I have watched WWE and kept up with it like consistently since about 2002.
Wow.
So like that, I remember I did some research, not this years ago, because I was like, when did I actually? It was 2002 is when I started watching it religiously. I had seen stuff before. And my uncle was like an amateur wrestler, so we would go to like house shows and watch him wrestle and stuff. So
what?
Oh yeah, his name was Brimstone. Yep, and he would wrestle. There was one guy named Big Daddy. He was like the super tall dude, and I got to go like backstage and yeah,
at these backyard wrestling events.
It wasn't backyard. It was like in an arena. Like
yikes!
Honestly, I would. My body can't do it. But I would love to be like go through a wrestling class. I would love to like super kick someone, like drop kick, learn how to do it. Oh yeah,
Julia, that can be a birthday present that you kind of find out for him.
I told you my body can't do it now.
You could do it, but like
let me lose some weight first.
Like the biggest thing about wrestling to me, and I think everybody that is watching, like, why are they even talking about this? Is not real. Okay, first of all, it is not. It's a sitcom. It's a soap opera with athletes. It's not. Now, okay, let me say this. The athleticism, that is real. The stunts they are doing, the flying, the jumps on the tables, that is real. It's not and this is what made me stop watching it. It was when I really realized, like, this ain't real.
No, it wasn't. It was your brother.
Right, but then like because he said, like, because I used to be a fan. It was like Thursday Night SmackDown was like the thing, and I watched it
with the fist
when The Rock was the most electrifying man.
If you smell,
I was a huge Rock fan, and I used to like watch religiously, and I would cheer. My brother walked in and was like, it's fake, right? And I was like, yeah. But then like it dawned on me, like, oh my God, this is like, it's not real. Like the stories that the betrayal, like it's not, it's all scripted. How do you know that and still watch it with the enthusiasm that you do? Because like, yeah, wrestling's not real. The Avengers aren't real, but I'm a fan of like the Avengers and like Marvel. Like,
okay, their fight scenes aren't real.
It's
all made up. They knew the story before it was done.
It's just,
my thing is though, is that's everybody's response. They're always like, oh, but it's not real. So what? Half the reality shows nowadays are scripted. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it is, I've watched it for years. I've grown up with it. It is entertaining. Like, yes, I know in the back of my mind that when they throw a punch, it's not always an actual punch, but it looks like it. And I have a better appreciation for it now, because like the moments where you see wrestlers botch, like you're like, oh man, they're not that. That's how you know someone's good. If
botch?
When they don't sell a move. So if you can sell a match, which there are some people out there who are like, any match they're in, golden. But if you can make it look real, yeah.
When someone like gets like the Stone Cold Stunner and like they like will do a backflip out of it, I'm like, all right, that's
well, and sometimes the overselling's funny. Yes, we know that the storylines are scripted, but they don't. It's not a spoiler alert. They don't tell us ahead of time. So we are guessing. And there are times, I can tell you, WrestleMania 39, when Cody lost to Roman Reigns, I remember I was with Clint and Sarek, and we were pissed at the end of the night because everyone knew Cody was winning that year. When he didn't win, like, we all went home like just like so disappointed. It's just as if you were watching The Office or a show like that where you don't know what's coming next. But these people are fighting and like it's real live matches. And yeah, it may not be real, but you get hit with a steel chair, with a kendo stick. You get thrown into a steel cage. You slam your back over and over. You get slapped in the face. You get kicked. You want me to keep going?
I do want to know what it's like to get hit with a kendo stick, because I'm like, that ain't
bet. Let's do it.
It's like hollow.
Okay, let's do it.
I'm not saying watch somebody like, you want to feel what it's like, like just come up on the street and just hit me with a stick.
Also, the slaps on the chest. Gunther's, woo.
Yeah.
You see some red beaten chest.
Their chest be raw. I'm like, bro, okay, that's
and like, you should see their bodies. Like after the matches, like, you know, if you get just slapped or something on the arm, you like, oh, why? Dang.
Yeah, even an aggressive hug will hurt me all day.
Yeah.
I'm just like, all right.
So that's what I hate is people are, you know, that's always their first response is, oh, it's not real. So what?
Okay, so for like, so you kind of like touched on like, yeah, it's fake, but okay, so for like the people that just don't get it, like you kind of touched on it, like what's so cool about it is, I guess it's the story that they're creating, right?
Yes, it's the different storylines. It is the wrestlers and their abilities and
the plot twists,
the way they sell the moves. That's a huge thing, because like some of the moves they have to do, a 450 splash, you have to jump off the top rope, do all these turns to land flat on their chest. And you think that's just easy. Like there is ability and there is technique and there's all different types of wrestlers. There's technical, there's brawlers, there's powerhouses, there's fighters, there's bruisers, and there's heels and faces. So there's bad guys and good guys. So it's literally like the Avengers, but real life.
Don't you ever compare wrestling to the Avengers.
Their fight scenes are more fake than wrestling.
They're mostly CGI, so I'll give you that. All right, so we're going to kind of get into some like real, like we're going to nerd out just a little bit. So in your opinion, what was the best era for wrestling? We had like the golden era, new generation, the attitude era, the ruthless aggression, the PG, and then there's like the current era. But I think the PG, was that when like there was like this group, they were like called like the censor, like they were the censors? No? Okay, never mind.
The PG era is whenever they went from like, you know how in the Attitude Era they had bra and panties matches. They had like, you could cuss, you could do all kinds of stuff. They could smoke, they could drink, they could do whatever. PG era, you couldn't do. The wrestlers couldn't cuss, they couldn't do anything because they wanted to be more kid friendly. They wanted to be more family friendly.
Okay,
they were catering more to kids.
So what was the best era?
So I would say Attitude and Ruthless are neck and neck. I personally would say Attitude because that's kind of what, not Attitude, Ruthless, because that's when I really got into wrestling. So John Cena came in. That's kind of what, you know, started the era. And then, yeah.
So which came first? Was it Attitude or Ruthless and Attitude?
It was Attitude, then Ruthless, then
really?
PG, then...
so I must have been around for the Attitude era because that was when like the Hardy Boys and stuff were in there. And
which in some of those wrestlers are still in the other eras. Yeah. But like that one heavily relied on Stone Cold and The Rock, you know, and also the dynamics.
That was when it was good.
I mean, but and that's the thing. The PG era was probably like the least best.
Is that when they had to wear like suits too? There was a moment where they had to wear like suits in their ring time.
No, that's for Crown Jewel. So that's when they go to Saudi Arabia. You're talking about like, you're talking about the female wrestlers?
Never mind. So in your opinion, who's the best wrestler that had like the best mic presence? Who's the best wrestler on the mic? Because again, like, and when I ask this question, there's people that are probably maybe have tuned in. They're like, what are they talking about? So there's wrestlers that are good at certain things. Like this wrestler, like to me, The Rock was like the best on the mic. Like his interviews when they were like in the ring or like backstage, he was always captivating. He was funny, was just really good on the mic. But like then there's other wrestlers that are good in the ring. There's good wrestlers that are just like good, like doing other stuff.
And there's some that's good at all. But yes, The Rock is definitely up there as one of the best on the mic.
Who do you think was the best?
It's hard because when I think of best on mic, my mind just goes to like a bunch of people who are really good at promos. And so I mean, The Miz is great.
Who?
Mike the Mizanin? The Miz?
Yeah. Okay.
John Cena.
I hated him.
Bruh.
So
actually I saw a video today where they were comparing John Cena and they said John Cena is the Superman of wrestling, where you like him but he gets on your nerves sometimes. And then his Superman's villain is Lex Luthor. Like that's who his villain is. And that's Randy Orton, where you will always love the chemistry between them because they did. And then they said Cody Rhodes is like Batman because his story was he became a hero when he was at the darkest point of his life, which is kind of when he came back to the WWE. And his villain, they were saying in the video, is Seth Rollins, the Joker. Anyways, it was this whole video. I was like, oh, this is a cool take.
So y'all just gonna disrespect The Rock like that?
They were just no. The Rock's.
These are current. I guess these are current wrestlers right now.
Well, John Cena is not current. He is on his retirement year, which is sad. I really hope he wins another championship and beats Ric Flair's record, please.
Okay.
He deserves it.
Who's the best wrestler? Who has the best ring work?
So, Shawn Michaels, HBK. Heartbreak Kid?
I know who he is.
Oh, okay.
I'm being silent because I disagree. I don't like him.
Oh, no, but like his ring work, he is probably one of the best in-ring performers. Bret Hart's up there. I think Cody Rhodes is up there. The Rock's great. Roman Reigns is good. Seth Rollins is good. But I mean, HBK definitely is up there.
Nah, man. It's Rey Mysterio.
Oh, he's great too.
Rey Mysterio. I love to watch him in the ring.
Oh, I do too. And I loved when he won his championship, the World Heavyweight Championship, in that triple threat. He won the Royal Rumble, then went to I love it.
You're gonna have so much editing to do in this.
But real,
you're gonna have so much fun finding the clips of all this stuff.
Yeah. No, but Rey Mysterio is great. He's still wrestling. It's probably about his last year, and his son's wrestling now, and his son's like the most hated heel right now, which honestly, Dominic Mysterio, as much as he's hated, is probably like the most over. Like I want to say it was the Ruthless era, may have been the Attitude. No, it was Ruthless. Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio had a ladder match for custody of Dom. To see, because it was like Eddie was saying that he was really Dom's father. So they had a match for custody of Dom, and whoever won that match got custody of Dominic Mysterio. They couldn't do that in the PG area because that would be too controversial or whatever.
This is a soap opera.
Boy, if you don't shut, I'm gonna get that kendo stick real quick. I'm gonna shove it where the sun don't shine. My wife just looked at me like,
oh my gosh. All right. The best wrestler presentation. What does that mean? Like the best entrance?
Yeah, I would say so. Or like how they're present. Yeah, I would definitely say like their gimmick. So I looked at LA Knight because honestly, he was one that
oh no, best wrestler presentation? Triple H.
Oh yeah, phenomenal. On The Undertaker.
Nah, oh yeah.
The Undertaker's phenomenal. I mean, you can look at a lot of them. I was gonna say reason why I referenced him is because they now have NXT, which is like a developmental brand, which really has taken off. It's great as well. But he was trying to find his footing. Like they kept on trying to create a different character for him. One time he was a manager for this male model group, which was a terrible idea. And so that's the thing. Like you get into, it's just like, I know sports aren't scripted, but it's just like it's like a sport where you are into the statistics and you're into like the finishers and this and how their character's going during this time. And well, this wasn't my favorite part of their career, but now I really like it. Whereas LA Knight, he is on fire right now. Yeah. He is United States champion, like legit, like amazing. Also, you want to know? No, now's a bad time to mention that.
What? Mention it. Go ahead.
Joe Hendry. Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Go from London to Tokyo.
I just want to take this time and just say how much I appreciate how much of a fan you are of this, because this is so fun to like talk to you about something that this is a foreign language to me. Like, and I kind of know a little bit, but like you're so excited to talk about this stuff. It's so cute.
Well, and what's funny is for years I wouldn't tell anyone I was a wrestling fan. And I think part of that's from when I was bullied. Like I didn't want anyone to ever have any other reason to pick on me, you know, and people are the first thing they say, oh, it's not real. That's so dumb. Why would you watch that? So I didn't, but I will say now, like, I don't care. Like I love it. And I'm thankful I have friends who I can watch it with. You'll come watch it and like actually enjoy it. You'll say you don't enjoy it, but then you'll be 30 minutes past the time.
It's entertaining.
It is very entertaining.
We've gone to one live. Well, I'll go again with you. I don't care.
Yeet.
All right.
He just won the Intercontinental Championship last week.
I don't know what that means. Give me your Mount Rushmore of wrestlers.
This is so hard. There's so many good wrestlers. You only have 4.
Right, because I know how many people are on Mount Rushmore.
And you actually got him correct.
So did.
So I will say rest in peace, but Eddie Guerrero is one of my favorites. His lie, cheat, steal gimmick, like amazing.
I lie, I cheat, I steal.
Yeah, see?
I was a fan once.
And I loved his matches. The rivalries he was in, like I loved Eddie Guerrero, and I hated, when he passed away, like there's it was missed. He was missed. So I personally have to put him up there. I am a huge fan of Cody Rhodes. So Cody Rhodes is going to go up there. And John Cena is going to go up there. You're going to hate me. So again, remember, I started in the Ruthless like heavily. It's so hard because there's Randy Orton, there's The Rock, I put Edge up there because Edge is amazing. Phenomenal. Mount Rushmore though, probably not. John Cena's up there for sure. Randy Orton's phenomenal.
You got Eddie Guerrero.
I mean, but then
John
you have
Cena.
Triple H, you have Shawn Michaels, Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, The Rock. These are Bret Hart. So many good wrestlers. It's hard.
Could you just go ahead and name your 4?
I can't narrow it down to 4.
You're pitiful. I'll do mine. I would put in my Mount Rushmore
from a real fan.
Oh yeah, I'm putting The Rock up there. He's number 1 up there. I'm gonna put The Undertaker up there.
Oh yes, The Undertaker. He deserves a spot.
I'm gonna put China up there.
See, that's the thing. I think you need a separate one for women because now that women's wrestling is like so good.
I'm gonna put up there probably Hulk Hogan.
Also, I may be controversial, but the fact that you put China over Trish Stratus, that's a little.
China was the 8th wonder of the world.
China was great, but
Trish Stratus was probably bigger, but I think China was the first person to I think hit that superstar level.
Oh, for sure.
Trish Stratus took it and just went above and beyond, but China was first.
No, for sure. And I mean, they all led to what now has started the women's evolution where women's wrestling is actually legit and respected. I've always liked both wrestling, women's, men's, regardless, but I mean, it was cool to see them actually have these amazing matches, get to do Hell in a Cells, get to do Steel Cage, Money in the Bank. All those are so cool that the women get to do now. And they have so much talent in their roster. Honestly, right now, they're getting drowned out with talent because they're not using them appropriately and they're not using the titles appropriately or the storylines and the rivalries, and it's stupid. And I wish they would do better with women's wrestling right now. Same thing with tag team wrestling. Come on. Triple H's current era is amazing, but we need more title changes. We need some different rivalries. They need to build up. specifically, women's division needs an Intercontinental and a United States Championship. They need a mid-card championship. There's so much talent. They need extra championships. Whew, sorry.
I want like a
I don't think I took a breath.
I want a rage meter for Levi. Like I want to like when he starts redlining. Okay, so who was the bigger Attitude Era star? Because I think for most people, like wrestling now, I think this is my opinion. I think wrestling now has a real niche of fans, but before, everybody, if you didn't like wrestling, you still knew who Stone Cold Steve Austin was. You knew who The Rock was. You kind of knew who The Undertaker was. I think that those three guys probably made wrestling like
I will say
across the board.
I understand where you're coming from that, and I agree with that partially, but I will say I disagree because Vince,
and then John Cena also.
The PG era is when Vince McMahon, like, it just kept going and it kept getting worse, and like his storylines and the way who he would push. Mm-hmm. Since Triple H has taken over, like it is skyrocketing. And
it is,
and people are like noticing it now more than ever. I mean, it is phenomenal.
But so I think that when
AJ Styles, he's another great wrestler. Phenomenal AJ Styles.
So
phenomenal one.
Who was the bigger Attitude Era star? We're gonna put it between Stone Cold and The Rock, and
that's a tough. I mean, I don't. How do you answer that?
I would easily.
You're gonna say The Rock.
Well, okay. I'm a Rock stan.
Like that is your.
But
yeah.
I think Stone Cold's attitude was bigger than The Rock's.
I agree. I think The Rock has they've both done so much
The
outside
Rock
of
was
wrestling
too cool to be considered like an Attitude Era guy. Like he was in that era, but I think Stone Cold represented attitude. Like The Rock had style, he had charisma. He was too suave to be just straight business attitude.
And
like
I
Stone
agree.
Cold walked out with a leather vest and jeans shorts on,
and he was the perfect person to.
He was attitude personified.
But Rock I agree because in that era, McMahon was always against Stone Cold, and so that was like a huge. I mean, that was a huge part of the whole storyline.
Yeah, you had the boss, and then you had the guy who's like, "I'm not listening to anything you saying." Like that's Stone Cold was the definition of like he was the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
The Rock was like right there, but The Rock was he had sunglasses on. His hair was slicked back. He was cool. He was nonchalant attitude. Stone Cold was in your face attitude.
Yeah, but I think they both obviously they were the pivotal parts of that era.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many. Anyways, go ahead.
All right, DX or NWO?
DX, easy. I mean, maybe people are more for NWO, but I feel like most people would say DX. They still have references to this day.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when they came back, when they were older, just HBK and Triple H, when they were against the Authority, which was Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon, and then they poured stuff on them in the ring, all this stuff.
God, I hated DX so much.
See, and the thing is,
because they started this whole thing.
Yes.
Goodness gracious! If every kid didn't do that 80 times a day,
and I didn't watch much of the original DX as well. I have now, I've seen stuff, but growing up, I didn't. But when they came back again, that was huge.
It's pitiful. All right, we're gonna talk about finishing moves because the wrestlers have finishing moves. They do. It's not funny. It's very good. It's good stuff.
There's some great finishing moves.
There are some. You know who had the dumbest finishing move in my opinion? Scotty Too Hottie's worm. That was the stupidest.
That wasn't a finishing move. That was a signature.
What's the difference?
So a signature move is basically. It could get the win, but most likely it won't. Typically, you hit a signature and that leads to the finisher. So it's like the move that builds up to you doing the finisher.
Okay, so then if I'm going to talk about The Rock, so The Rock had the People's Elbow and the Rock Bottom. So I guess the People's Elbow was the signature move and then the Rock Bottom was the finisher?
I would say yes. He had another one too. Spinebuster for him was a signature. His Spinebuster,
which is just a spear.
No, a spear and Spinebuster completely different. Spinebuster, you literally pick them up and slam them on the ground. You can do it when they're running, but a spear is when you literally take your shoulder and just.
Okay.
Talk about who has the best spear. Now that's a thing.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. There are so many different spears. I mean, you have the Gore from Rhino. You have Edge's spear. You have Braun Breaker's spear. Charlotte has spear. Like, there's so many spears. Jey Uso, Roman Reigns spear.
So who had the weaker finishing move? Hulk Hogan's leg drop or The Rock's people's elbow?
I think the people's elbow. Honestly, like you could kind of get someone dropping their weight of a leg on your chest / neck. People's elbow, it is for show, and it's great, but that doesn't do that much damage, bro. And then you see people lose to that finisher. Sell them with the rock bottom. I don't even think that one. I honestly don't even think that one's a great finisher. The rock bottom, like when people just do. No, I don't even think that's that great.
Mm.
You know what is one of the best finishers of all time?
What's the best finisher of all time?
If you had to guess what I'm gonna say,
Tombstone.
No.
Pedigree.
No. RKO, bro.
I don't know what the RKO looks like.
How do you not know what the RKO looks like?
Because I'm an adult. That's why I don't
know.
No,
people RKO all the time. It's literally when they take their. Oh my gosh. Randy Orton RKO?
I know who he is. I don't know what the RKO is.
The legend killer, Randy Orton.
That doesn't help me know what his finisher move is. What is it? Explain it to me. What does he do with his body?
So he runs out of nowhere. He can hit it anywhere. And he grabs their neck and just jump. I'd have to show you.
He jumps and grabs them their neck and then comes down on it.
And they both, yeah. And so their head hits the ground.
This is so great. This is so much fun.
I'm so disappointed you don't know what the RKO is. I mean, everyone knows what the RKO is. I mean, it's got videos, people doing it in the pools. Even if you weren't a wrestling fan when it was...
I think I now know what it is because you described it.
The rage meter is building, Julia.
Oh my goodness, this is so much fun. Okay. Okay. So we got a shocking moment. And that's Austin joining McMahon to win the title at WrestleMania 17 or Brock Lesnar beating The Undertaker at WrestleMania 30.
So which was more shocking?
More shocking.
I would Brock beating Undertaker because I get it. Yeah, that was a shocking moment. But that I still to this day, that streak should have not been defeated. People will disagree and they think it was needed, but I think The Undertaker should have retired undefeated at WrestleMania. He went, I think it was 22-0. And then the Brock beat. And why Brock? Why did they always push Brock Lesnar? I can't forget. He is one of my least favorite, most used stars. It's ridiculous. Yeah, he's a power. Oh, I'm sure you did. He's a powerhouse. Yeah, he can do the F5. The F5, really? No one can kick out. No, come on. This is so stupid. He just comes and demolish it. If it's against Brock, okay, well the match is over. And there was a period where he just literally he beat the Undertaker. Then he had the title. No one could beat him. And then it went to Roman. This is why Vince McMahon sucked, because then Roman had the title for 4 freaking years because he hardly wrestled a match. He would wrestle once every few months, and then he's a great, and he had the bloodline behind him, and now the bloodline is still going, which Roman is big now, and I'm on Roman's side now, but I'm thank God that he's not. It is so frustrating.
We're gonna have to do a wrestling part 2.
No, we're almost done with these questions.
No. I want to hear you argue with someone that's not me,
someone more legit probably than me.
No, there's some people that I can think of that have some opinions that are different from yours. Anyway, so you want to do the other questions, the ones? Okay. So, was the Montreal screw job what was best for business?
Do you know what the Montreal screw job was?
Of course, I don't know what that is.
Where Shawn Michaels beat Bret Hart?
No, I don't.
And it was very controversial,
dude.
Okay. Yes, it was what was best for business because it made Vince kind of bad person, a heel, someone that could.
When was Vince not a heel?
I mean, I didn't watch it like way back then, but I mean, it made him more of a heel. That moment specifically was what really turned people like, oh, he is an evil bad guy. But also it helped develop into like, I think, fact check me, I am not like knowledgeable about everything in wrestling, but I think that's what moved that era into the Attitude Era. Because that kind of helped build Vince to be this evil guy to go up against Stone Cold. You know what I mean?
What was the best Money in the Bank cash in?
Have you ever watched one of those matches?
You know I haven't.
I feel like you haven't? So good. Well, they're getting sloppy with it again. They are. Like when Chris Jericho was the one that announced that this would be a thing. And it's this match where there are 6 people and there's one briefcase up at the top. And whoever gets that briefcase in the ladder match has a guaranteed title shot at any moment. So they could just have won their match, be beaten down. They come down and cash in this bank and pretty much win the title. Now, people have cashed in their bank and they've lost. But now, the pandemic one was really bad, especially on the female side. Did not like how they did that, but they had to get creative during the pandemic. But best, Seth Rollins, WrestleMania 31. When he cashed in, first off, he was the first one to cash in at WrestleMania, which was huge. He cashed in on Roman and Brock. Thank goodness, because Brock, again, title wouldn't end, because why don't we just keep pushing Brock? So dumb. Can't stand Brock.
I liked Brock Lesnar.
You would. How many times have we said that? But he cashed it in. They were both beaten down. He ended up making it a triple threat, and then he ended up winning the titles. So that was one of the best. Female side, because now they have, again, I love that they have the female side too for these matches. They have a female Royal Rumble, which is actually, I think I've told this story on the podcast before. When me and my wife were engaged to be married, she was coming over. It was a Sunday, and she was at the apartment because we were in our apartment. She wasn't living there yet, but we were in our apartment, and I was like, "Babe, I have to tell you something." And she was like, "Okay, what?" She's thinking it's serious. It was serious to me. I was like, "I like wrestling, and the Royal Rumble is on tonight, and it's the first women's Royal Rumble, and I really want to watch this to watch both Rumble matches. Would you watch it with me?" And she was like, "Yeah." She was so confused because I'm sure she thought like I was gonna be like, I don't know, a million things run through your head. But and since then, we have watched it every year together.
The Royal Rumble.
Even if like sometimes I watch it with friends, like we will at least still watch the women's Royal Rumble because for her she finds that one more interesting than the men's. But she doesn't really get into wrestling, but she is starting to recognize some of the faces.
That is so funny. So Julia, what did you think when Levi was like, "I like wrestling"?
I thought it was just like any other sport. I was like, okay, it's like saying I like football. Like, that's not a big deal. I didn't understand why he was embarrassed about it.
It was great. We had a great evening watching the Royal Rumble.
Y'all deserve each other.
But the female winner, I really think that there's been a lot of great ones, but I think Liv Morgan's win was the best well done. And then the fact she cashed it in on the same night, which was unexpected, and she beat Ronda Rousey, again, I think was too overhyped. But she cashed it in on Ronda Rousey and pinned her and became the women's championship, which was so good for her because like she has always been the underdog. And she finally like got her moment and then had the championship. And she ended up losing it probably to Ronda, if I remember correctly, because of course we got to give Brock, Ronda, and Roman the titles. It's stupid.
So, should they bring back the hardcore title?
No.
Now, what makes the hardcore like hardcore?
So that title was a hardcore title because it was, I'm pretty sure, defended in like hardcore type of matches. So like you had steel chairs, thumbtacks, like tables, ladders, chairs, all that stuff, kendo sticks, sledgehammers. So it was defended more like higher stake matches. No, I don't think they should bring that back. I do think they need to introduce some other titles. I already mentioned on the women's side, Intercontinental and United States. And I heard this is possibly in the works because women's wrestling has gotten so good. They have so much talent that is getting lost to the wayside. And if it continues that way, people are going to forget about these superstars. So when they come back, it's going to be like, oh yeah, that person, but you're not going to be as hyped about them. Just same like with the women's tag team championships. They've done an awful job with those championships. Right now, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill have them. They are freaking, talk about some beast mode wrestlers. They are phenomenal. But they can really elevate these titles if they have the right storylines and matches. I will say with that, it is a little hard because Bianca and Jade are such powerhouses. It's hard to imagine anyone actually beating them. So I feel like a lot of times they're kind of making Jade look big, or because they have the tag titles, they have to make them, the other team, like beat them down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes I feel like it makes Bianca and Jade look a little bit weaker than they actually are, which I don't like. But I think that they have a great opportunity to really establish the tag team division. They have so many trios and tag teams right now that there's no reason why they can't.
So I hate that I'm curious about
And
this.
real quick on other championships before you're curious, they also need to, like, so they brought back the Cruiserweight Championship. But they did it terrible because it was on this 205 live show, which was, I mean, they had great wrestlers, again, great champions, great matches, but like I want to see, because they have so limited titles right now, one of the biggest things is that titles hardly change. And so they need to have some that they in their storylines can change on, like Monday Night Raw, which last week Jey Uso beat Braun Breaker. Thank God he finally got his first singles championship. Well deserved. Jey Uso for sure. But like, they really need to add something. They had this 24/7 title that could have been a legit title. They ruined it. They made it look, Vince ruined it. They made it look like such.
Ruined? Say it again.
Ruined it. But basically, if you had that title, someone could just come up behind you, pin you for a 3 real quick, get tricky, and then you have the title, and then they have to run away so no one else pins them real quick. That's how they had it. So it was constantly like, it was stupid. I think R-Truth had the title for like 397 reigns. Not factual, but seriously, it was stupid. They could have made that title where it was like a 24/7 championship where like it was like an open challenge. So like every Monday Night Raw or something, they had an open challenge. Whoever came out, they had to wrestle for that, and made it a legit like competition title. Don't you agree?
Wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I mean, totally. And then Nikki Cross destroyed that championship because she threw it in the trash. And then it became like, it just became a thing where like these legends would come back and like, oh, let me get my 15 seconds of fame again and pin someone. I got the title. Oh, just kidding. They pinned me again. So now they have the title again. It was so dumb.
I love how passionate you are about this. I do. I really do.
Good. I'm glad.
Now, okay. So I'm curious. Okay. So this, I'm so mad that I'm asking this question. So we have like the Super Bowl. That's one trophy.
Mm-hmm.
You're the best football team in America. You have the World Series. That's one trophy. You're the best team in America. And then we have like boxing. Boxing has the World Heavyweight Championship. That means in that weight class, you are the best boxer. Then you got the featherweight.
Right.
You're the best boxer in that weight class. Lightweight, bantamweight. You're the best.
I'd be lightweight.
Of course. So there's like 30 titles within WWE that are always like, well, not always, but they're changing. Like you said, there's the Intercontinental, there's the World Heavyweight, there's the tag team. I get tag team duos. I'm so sad. I want to know this, but go through the titles,
through the ranking of titles.
And like,
So
sorry, Julia. Go on.
Each brand has their own title. So like
brand?
their own set. Yeah. So Raw is a brand. Okay. SmackDown's a brand.
Let's just talk about one.
NXT's a brand.
Let's just go with one brand.
So World Heavyweight or WWE Championship. Those are two different brands, but that is the heavyweight champ. Like that is the biggest championship.
Is the World Heavyweight?
Yeah.
In WWE.
Yes.
Okay. So
then you have Intercontinental US title. Those are mid-card titles. So those are mid-card wrestlers. Not all the time. Sometimes you have like world champion wrestlers get those titles.
So anyway. Intercontinental would make me think intercontinental, like this person is from America, which is a continent. This person's from Asia, which is an intercontinental.
I get that.
But that's just a name they have for this. And it just means this person's not like a big superstar, but they're like a mid.
And I don't know where the name originated from that, but yes, that's a mid-card. And not necessarily mid-tier. Sometimes they are better than mid-tier, but yes, it is more like a mid-card championship.
Okay.
Then you have the tag team, and that's it.
There's three. So there's three belts, and that's it. Tag team, intercontinental.
Well, then you have the women's. You have the women's championship,
right? Women's.
So that is like their heavyweight championship.
Yeah. Okay.
They need a mid-card championship. They also have the tag titles, but their tag titles can go from Raw, SmackDown, or NXT. Any of those brands can challenge them. Whereas, so SmackDown has the same. They have WWE, United States, tag team. They each have their own separate ones. Then NXT has the NXT championship. They have the North American championship, tag team, and then they have the women's.
I hate myself for asking that question.
You're welcome.
And I love that you knew it. All right. So there's basically three title belts
for men's
per thing league.
Yeah. And I mean, you have the briefcase that could be like a title belt, but it's not. It's just like people carry it around like title belt. But
last question: do you like Cody Rhodes' title run currently?
No.
Cody Rhodes we're wearing Cody Rhodes' shirt.
Love Cody Wrestler. Cody Wrestler. I am getting tired. Love Cody Rhodes. Like I love his reintroduction to WWE, his storyline, and he had his moment to win the championship that his father never won. However,
who's his father?
Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream.
Yeah.
You know his brother is Dustin Rhodes, which is Gold Dust.
That's Cody Rhodes' brother?
Yeah.
Okay.
They actually had a tag team at one point. This was right before Cody left WWE. Vince had made him Stardust. It was people make fun of it now. But it's hard because just like in any show, so think of a TV show. You have a boy and a girl, and you're like, oh, they need to be together. But it can't happen right away. Because if it does, then where does the story go? Right? So Cody, he comes back. He's got to get the title. He's got to win the title for his dad, who has now passed away. Rest in peace, Dusty Rhodes. So he gets in. He wins the Royal Rumble. Yada, yada. You think he's going to win it at 39. He doesn't. Okay, so the storyline's still going with the bloodline. He goes through. Then he's drafted to a different brand. So people are like, oh, how he's going to get it? Well, of course, he's going to win the Royal Rumble. He won the Royal Rumble. Then you saw this WrestleMania, I believe, with The Rock and...
no, I didn't see it.
You didn't? Okay.
No.
So the night one was Cody and Seth versus Rock and Roman. Anyways, talk about shocking WrestleMania moments. WrestleMania 40 was one of the best finales. They brought out John Cena, they brought out The Undertaker, and they also brought out... Gosh, I can't remember the other person. Oh, well. But then Cody wins the title. But after that, there's not much... I mean, there's not many other rivalries outside the bloodline. And now they have freaking Solo Sikoa who's trying to take over the bloodline. It's terrible. Like, the bloodline's still going. It's like, we get it. Let's go somewhere else. He hasn't had good rivalries. There's not really, because he's such a good guy. So he needs the belt taken off of him. I would love if Randy Orton took the belt off of him. Just because like there's a history and a story there. But
this is so good.
He's a phenomenal wrestler. Every match he's going to sell. But the story is not good, and it's bringing it down.
Okay. when are we going again?
I think they're coming to Kansas City SmackDown in March, maybe. I don't know. I'll have to check.
I can't wait to go.
Hey, we got video proof of him doing yeet.
I was just about to say, roll the footage of me having a great time. Look, again, it's entertaining. I'm not necessarily here for it, but it is wildly entertaining. So do you have anything that you want to add before we go to the weekly segment?
I think RVD is one of the most underrated wrestlers.
Rob Van Dam?
Yes. Okay. I don't feel like he gets enough credit. He is one of my favorites. He is athletically phenomenal. His moveset is so unique, and I don't know why. I just felt compelled to say that.
You know what wrestler I really hated? Because he was an enemy of The Rock, Rikishi.
Yeah,
I never liked him. Like every time he was like, "Oh, why is he?"
You didn't like his stink face?
No.
Yeah.
No. All right, so
Rikishi's great though, and I loved him and Scotty 2 Hotty as a tag team.
I hated them. Gosh, I hated them. I hated Scotty 2 Hotty because there was a kid in my class, and his name was Scotty, and he was in the most heterosexual way. He was a hottie. He was a hot kid. He was like the pretty. So did you
go around calling him and say, "Hey, Scotty 2 Hotty"?
No, but all the girls called him Scotty 2 Hotty.
Oh, gotcha.
And I was just like, maybe I was jealous because I wasn't Caleb 2 Hotty, but whatever.
Caleb 2 Hotty. Yeah, doesn't rhyme.
It didn't have a ring to it. But so when this wrestler came on, I was like, I hate him.
You better open your eyelids, bro.
Do I look tired?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Anyway, all right. So why don't you do your segment first, and then we'll play the game.
That's crazy.
Okay, so I have 2 quick ones. So one is about me shopping stores, but this is when I realized I'm the problem. So do you ever go out in front of people on accident? You come out of the aisle and then you realize someone's coming real quick, and so you hurry around and you say I'm sorry. I realized that when I say I'm sorry, it's kind of like, you've seen Pitch Perfect, right? Mm-hmm. You know the Asian girl that does the fish mouth, which is like, mm-hmm. That's literally how I'm like, I'm sorry. And then it happened to me today, and I'm thinking, this lady's probably he didn't even acknowledge or say anything, and I'm over here oh, I'm so sorry, but it's I'm so sorry, and I'm like, they probably don't even. I need to change that.
So anyways, you need to say it with your chest.
Yeah, I need to be I'm so sorry, instead of oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I was like, go ahead.
Yeah. Also, hot take. My wife hates this.
You know what I just thought before you finish? I'm mad I'm about to say it. This is what you said, hot take, and then you said my wife. I said, your wife is a hot take.
Excuse me, bro? She is, but she's my hot take. Well, so have you ever had a dream? I don't know if we've talked about this on podcast. You dream that your wife is cheating on you?
You know I've had this dream before.
I know. It happened to me last week. I woke up so mad at her. We were beefing. I woke up her. God. I just looked at her because it always feels so real. And then it takes a second. You're like, oh, that didn't happen. Oh, she did. She does love me.
Oh,
but it gets on her nerves because I'm like, you cheating now, huh?
So you had the dream she was cheating, and you woke up and you were upset with her.
Yeah. You know what? In this specific dream, she got pregnant.
Ooh.
I thought it was my baby. I come to find
down
right.
Dirt. Ooh.
I can't come to find out she'd been cheating on me, and so I wanted a DNA test somehow while the baby was still in her.
Okay, wait.
And then I found out it was his. And then I woke up. Oh, I was mad.
How could you?
Right? Trifling.
Now I get it. I'm on your side. You ain't. Ooh.
Mm-hmm. How dare you come up with my dreams like that?
I swore I would never tell the dream of my wife cheating on me on this podcast. Anyway, I'm gonna tell it right now though because it's a funny. So you were angry. So in my dream, I want to say this as nice as I can. My wife, in my dream, I'm in a meeting with one other person, but in the back of the dream, I hear lovemaking going on. I hear it. And I turn around and it's my wife just in the throes of just the most passionate business she could ever be in. And I'm just like, and she turns around in this dream. She turns around, looks at me and goes, and goes right back to it. And I'm just, and I sat there in the dream and I was just like, I deserve this. It was so bad. It was so bad. And then I woke up and I just sat on the edge of my bed like this.
Right. How could she?
I was devastated.
Yeah.
And so
did she come in the room after that?
No. This is like 5:00 in the morning. And I'm sitting on the edge of my bed in the dark and I'm just like, oh my goodness. And so I get up, I go to the gym, I come home. She has no idea I've had this dream. She's in the kitchen cooking. She's like, hey, good morning. And I'm just like, I just want to say how sorry I am for how I've been treating you. She's like, what? I was like, babe, I'm so sorry.
I got you 3 things of kiwis.
If you ever, shut up. And she's like, what happened? So something wrong? And I was like, I had a dream. And I told her about the dream and she was like, oh my God. I was like, yeah. She's like, who is the guy? I was like, so I told her the guy's name and she's like, him? I was like,
isn't it weird when it's someone like you guys are around a lot? Because that happened to me one time. My wife has cheated on me a lot in my dreams. I'm telling you, it's getting a little worrisome. No, it's not been a lot, but it's been like 3 times, maybe 4.
That's the only dream I've ever had. I've only had the one.
Yeah, it ticks me off every time. But there was one time where it was someone we knew and like we talked to regularly, and I'm like, now every time I see this person, I'm just like, we beefing too.
Because so the guy we both know, and the guy was like literally I saw this person like within like 24 hours and he was like, hey, we should get together, you know, we and I'm like, be a cold day in hell before you come to my house, boy. Oh man.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is they have been to my house and the whole time I'm just like, you ain't worth 2 nickels, I'll tell you right now.
I'm keeping my eyes.
Give me a 15 by 15 room, I'll choke you out.
Biggest animal I could take. All right, let's go to your game real quick.
All right, so this is my game. I'm going to play some WWE. I'm going to play some entrance music. And I'm only going to give you like a second.
A second?
You're a fan.
Well, but here's the thing. That intro, like, how do I know that's like the beginning of their intro song that comes out on the stage?
The ones that I picked, in my opinion, and I'm not a fan like you, I knew these immediately.
I've seen these before. Please.
I'm gonna give you a second, maybe 2 seconds.
I would say 3 seconds.
No, I'm gonna give
maybe
you,
like
I'll do 1, and then if you can't get it in 1, I'll give you a couple. I'll give you like 2 or 3.
All right, let's go with the first.
And make sure the volume is up. Make sure it's good and clear. Okay, again, you should. First of all, calm down because I think you'll get them.
There's a lot of pressure.
It is.
That's the Usos.
See, that was 1 second.
Yeah, and then Usos.
All right, ready? Next one.
Oh, Cody Rhodes.
Yeah,
Rhodes.
I didn't even get a second into it. That's half a second, and you got it. All right, next one.
Roman Reigns, head of the table version.
Oh, he has versions of his song.
No, like. Sometimes their character evolves. He was the Shield, Roman Reigns. He was Roman Reigns. Then he got leukemia, and then he came back from that, which was really cool too. Anyway, so
all right, next one.
What the Rock is cooking.
All right, here we go. Next one.
Oh, the Undertaker.
See, you thought you're doing so good.
Well, you're not pulling out wild cards.
I got 1 or 2 in here that I think are good. But I honestly, now that you've said something earlier, I think you'll get that one too. All right, next one.
Stone Cold Steve Austin. Oh, I know this one.
Who is it?
Well, that one's Stone Cold, the glass breaker. Oh my gosh. That's not Hulk Hogan.
Let me try it. You want to play it again?
Yeah.
I'll give you 5 seconds of it. That was only 3. That's 10 seconds.
Oh my gosh. Gosh, I know that. Like I've heard that entrance music.
I got him stumped. That is Mick Foley.
That's right. Yeah. I wouldn't have gotten that one.
All right, here we go. Next one.
Well, it's the big show. The big bad show tonight.
I like he's got one of my favorite entrances.
He's now in AEW under his real name, Paul Wright.
All right, next one. Here we go.
Basic Thugonomics. John Cena.
I told you layups.
These are.
Here we go. Next one.
Is that Sergeant Slaughter?
No, it is not.
Okay. Play it again. Oh my, it's not Drew McIntyre. I'm thinking that because of the WrestleMania. The bagpipes. Oh, Roddy Piper. Rowdy Piper.
There you go. All right. I think I got one more for you. Oh, I got two more for you.
Okay.
Mamacita.
Is that Rey Mysterio?
No.
Mamacita.
It's not Eddie, is it? Oh, okay. That's his old one. Like an old one. That was before Allah, Achi, Asti.
All right. Last one.
Chris Jericho. Okay. Yeah.
That was one of like his older songs that he came out to.
Yes, it was. That's why it threw me off for a minute. But then, yeah. He actually is in his own band. Anyways, folks, you guys have probably been bored. Or maybe you enjoy me being excited about something. I don't know. But thank you guys for lasting this long and seeing how much of a nerd I am. Please don't make fun of me, because then I will not tell people I like wrestling ever again.
Shame him.
You would. Anyways,
take a steel chair to his face.
I'm going to hit you with a kendo stick. Thanks for watching. We will see you guys next week. Have a good one. Really, though, I want to get a kendo stick. Put it on Patreon.
A side quest, a THYF side quest. Caleb gets hit with a kendo stick.
Yes.